"Daddy, can we help her?" Single dad protects woman from two attackers in restaurant. Next day it was supposed to be a quiet evening. Daniel, a single father and former Marine, had taken his 8-year-old daughter Lily out for pizza after school. She was chattering about her drawing competition when a sudden crash echoed across the restaurant. Two men stormed in loud, angry, clearly drunk. Their eyes locked on a young woman sitting alone by the window. Within seconds, the mood shifted from casual laughter to icy silence. "Come on, sweetheart. Don't ignore us," one of the men sneered, slamming his hand on her table. The other leaned too close, cornering her in. Lily's small hand tugged on Daniel's sleeve. Her big eyes were worried. "Daddy, can we help her?" she whispered. Daniel's instincts sharpened instantly. He had promised himself not to get into trouble again after leaving the Marines. But seeing the woman's fear and his daughter's plea, he knew he couldn't just sit back. He rose slowly, calm but firm, placing Lily behind him. "That's enough," Daniel said evenly, his voice carrying the weight of authority. "She's not interested. Walk away." The men laughed. "And who's gonna make us, huh? Pizza Dad?" one of them jeered. The next moment was a blur. One lunged. Daniel sidestepped, sending him crashing into a chair. The other tried to swing at him, but Daniel countered with precise, controlled moves. Within seconds, both men were on the floor, groaning in pain, while Daniel stood tall, breathing steady. The restaurant erupted into applause. But Daniel ignored it, crouching down to reassure the trembling woman. "You're safe now," he said softly. Lily peeked out, smiling with pride. Daniel thought that was the end of it. But the following afternoon, while picking Lily up from school, a sleek black car pulled up. The woman from the restaurant stepped out this time, dressed sharply, with security escorts trailing behind her. She wasn't just anyone. She was Alina Carter, a well-known businesswoman in the city. "Mr. Brooks," she said warmly, "I never got to thank you properly. You didn't just save me. You showed your daughter what true courage looks like." She knelt to Lily's level. "And you gave me back something I thought I'd lost. Faith in people." Then she turned to Daniel. "I could use someone like you, loyal, protective, trustworthy. How would you feel about working for me?" Daniel was stunned. He had been struggling to make ends meet, working long shifts at a warehouse just to keep food on the table for Lily. Now, because of one choice, because he listened to his daughter's words, his life was about to change. He looked down at Lily, who grinned ear to ear. "Daddy, I told you, helping people is always good." Daniel smiled back, finally allowing himself to believe it. Daniel Brooks wasn't a man who asked life for much anymore. At 36, his world revolved around his daughter, Lily, an energetic 8-year-old who was the only light left after her mother walked out years ago. Tonight, all he wanted was to share a greasy pepperoni pizza, laugh at Lily's jokes, and forget about the stack of bills waiting at home. The restaurant was alive with chatter and clinking glasses. Daniel had just lifted his slice when the front door slammed. Open. 2 men stumbled in, rough, loud, drunk. Their eyes scanned the room like predators, searching for prey, and then landed on a young woman dining alone. Daniel noticed instantly. He always noticed. Some habits from his Marine days never faded. The men swaggered over to the woman's table. One leaned against the booth, blocking her way out. The other grabbed her wrist when she tried to stand. "Don't leave yet, sweetheart," the taller one growled. "We're just being friendly." She flinched, shrinking back at their own booth. Lily's chatter stopped. Her big brown eyes turned up to Daniel. "Daddy," she whispered, voice trembling. "Can we help her?" Daniel froze. That was his daughter's heart speaking, innocent, brave, and he realized he couldn't teach Lily to be kind and courageous if he didn't show it himself. Daniel stood, calm and deliberate, shielding Lily behind him. His presence was quiet, but commanding. "That's enough," he said, voice low but firm. She said no. Let her be. The men turned, sizing him up. Oh look, one laughed. Pizza Dad thinks he's a hero. The woman's eyes met Daniel's, pleading, terrified. He gave her a small nod, a silent promise. You're safe. The tall one shoved Daniel's shoulder. Back off. Daniel didn't move. Didn't blink. Last chance. Walk away. Instead, the man swung a sloppy punch. Daniel ducked, twisted his wrist, and slammed him into the table. The second lunged with a bottle raised, but Daniel blocked, swept his legs, and pinned him to the ground in seconds. The restaurant fell silent. Then cheers erupted. A few people pulled out their phones, recording. Daniel released them only when he was sure they wouldn't get up again. He crouched to the woman. You're safe now, he said softly. Behind him, Lily whispered with pride. That's my dad, Daniel. Expected trouble. Maybe the men would press charges. Maybe nothing would come of it. But he didn't expect the sleek black car waiting outside Lily's school. The door opened, and out stepped the woman from the restaurant. But she wasn't in casual clothes anymore. She wore a tailored suit, heels clicking with confidence, and security officers shadowed her every step. Parents whispered. Kids stared. She stopped in front of Daniel and smiled. Mr. Brooks, I owe you more than thanks. Her name was Elena Carter, CEO of Carter Global, a name Daniel recognized from headlines. I wasn't just a woman alone in a restaurant, Elena said. Those men, they were hired. Competitors who've been harassing me for months. My security wasn't there that night. But you were. Daniel blinked, taken aback. He hadn't realized it wasn't random. You didn't just protect me, she continued. You showed me something money can't buy: integrity. And you showed your daughter what real courage is. She turned to Lily, crouching to meet her eyes. You're lucky to have a dad like him. Lily beamed. Elena straightened, her voice all business now. I need someone like you, someone I can trust. I want to hire you as my personal security. It'll mean a better life for you and your daughter, safe, stable, and maybe even a new beginning. Daniel stood speechless. He had been scraping by at a warehouse job, working night shifts, barely making ends meet. He had no family to lean on, nothing but Lily. And now, because of one night, one choice, everything could change. He looked down at Lily. Daddy, she whispered with a smile. I told you, helping people is always good. Daniel's eyes softened. For the first time in years, he let himself believe it.